Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Daily Blend. I'm Oliver, your host from London. It is Monday, December 29th, and we are right in the middle of that strange, quiet week between Christmas and New Year. Actually, did you know that today is known as Fuku no Hi, or Good Fortune Day in Japan, because the numbers 2 and 9 can be read as Fuku?I think we all need a little extra luck as we finish our final preparations for 2026, don't we?
オリバー、ハロー。そうなんだ。今日は服の日なんだね。29で服。なるほど。大掃除とかお正月の準備でバタバタしてるけど、そんな風に言ってもらえるとなんだか縁起が良くてやる気が出てくる気がする。私もさっきまでキッチンをピカピカにしてたところだよ。
Well, I'm glad I could give you a little boost. I'm still halfway through my own cleaning, but I took a break to check out the news. And speaking of preparing for the end of the year, there's a huge atmosphere of excitement building up at NHK Hall in Tokyo. Rehearsals for the 76th Kohaku Uta Gassen have officially kicked off.
ついに紅白の季節だね。28日からリハーサルが始まったってニュースで見たよ。毎年これを見ると、本当に1年が終わるんだなって実感するよね。今年の紅白はどんな感じになりそうなの？
It sounds like it's going to be massive. The theme this year is Global Stage, and they've really leaned into that. There are more international artists and K-pop groups than ever before. Actually, a record 12 international acts, which is a 20% increase from last year. It's definitely going to be a star-studded lineup this time.
スタースタッデッドラインアップ？それって具体的にどういうこと？スターがいっぱい？
Exactly. Think of a star as a famous celebrity. Studded means something is covered or decorated with small objects, like a jacket covered in jewels. So a star-studded lineup is a group or list of many, many famous people gathered for one single event. Basically, it's a very glamorous and elite group of performers.
なるほど。キラキラした宝石が散りばめられてるみたいに超豪華なスターたちが勢ぞろいしてるってことね。確かに今年の出演者は海外からもたくさん来るし、まさに豪華な顔ぶれっていう言葉がぴったりかも。
It really is. And one of the biggest talking points is the use of AI. They're planning a digital twin performance where AI recreates legendary singers from the past. It's already starting to generate buzz on social media.People are debating whether it's amazing or a bit strange to see digital versions of legends.
ジェネレートバズ？SNS で盛り上がってるってことかな。バズって蜂がブンブン飛ぶ音のことだよね。
Spot on. Imagine many people talking at once. It sounds like a hum or a buzz. So to generate buzz means to create a lot of excitement or interest among the public.When something is buzzing, everyone is talking about it, sharing it, and getting curious. This AI performance is definitely doing that right now.
へえ、つまり大きな話題を呼んでいるとか注目を集めているっていうことだね。確かに AI で過去のレジェンドを復活させるなんて賛否両論ありそうだけど、みんなが気になってシェアしちゃうのはわかる気がする。
I agree. Even with all this new technology, Kohaku remains such a cultural staple in Japan. Nearly 40% of households are expected to tune in at some point on New Year's Eve. It's the definitive way to bridge the gap into the new year.
カルチュラルステープルか。このステープルってホッチキスの芯のことだよね。それが文化とどう関係あるの？
That's a common mix-up. In this context, a staple refers to a basic and important part of something, like how rice is a staple food. So, a cultural staple is an essential, traditional part of a culture that everyone knows and expects. It's something that defines the season or the people.
なるほど。定番とか欠かせないものっていうニュアンスなんだね。日本人にとって大晦日の紅白はまさに文化的な定番行事だもんね。AI とか国際化が進んでもその立ち位置は変わらないんだね。
Precisely. It's fascinating how they balance that. But you know, Kohaku isn't the only thing changing with technology. Speaking of New Year's traditions, our second story is about something that happens right after the clock strikes midnight, Hatsumode.
初詣、私も三が日の間には必ず行くよ。明治神宮とか浅草線とかすごい人だよね。でも初詣も最近は変わってきてるの？
It really is. Major shrines are undergoing a serious digital transformation, or DX. They are trying to modernize while managing the massive crowds. For example, over 60% of major shrines in Tokyo now offer digital options for visitors.
へえ、初詣が DX か？神社ってすごく古風なイメージだけど、どんなことがデジタルになってるの？
Well, the biggest change is the smart Saisen boxes. Instead of throwing physical coins into the wooden box, you can now use QR codes for offerings. They've also launched digital omikuji fortunes that you scan to your smartphone instead of getting a paper slip. It's a huge shift for such a long-standing tradition.
ロングスタンディングトラディション？これは長く続いてきた伝道ってこと？
That's it. Long-standing simply means something that has existed for a very long time. We use it for customs, companies, or even arguments that have been around for generations. Hatsumode is the perfect example of a long-standing tradition because it's been central to Japanese life for centuries.
なるほど。古くから続く伝道ってことね。そんなに長く続いてきたものに QR コードを使うっていうのはちょっと不思議な感じもするけど、お賽銭もキャッシュレスってことだよね。
Exactly. Japan is moving closer to a cashless society, and shrines are following that trend. Younger people rarely carry cash these days, so they find the digital system much more convenient. It's all about making the experience faster and reducing physical contact.
キャッシュレスソサイエティね。確かに最近私も現金を使う機会が本当に減ったかも。お財布を忘れてもスマホがあればなんとかなるもんね。でも神社側も思い切った決断をしたよね。
It is a big change, but they say the systems are very user-friendly. They've been testing them over the last few days to make sure there are no glitches before the New Year's Eve rush. Even for people who aren't great with technology, the QR code system is very simple to navigate.
ユーザーフレンドリー。これは日本語でもユーザーフレンドリーっていうから分かりやすい。誰にとっても使いやすい。時に気が変えているとか操作が簡単なってことだよね。お年寄りから子供までみんながスムーズにお参りできるように工夫されてるんだね。
Exactly. Although I heard some people are debating whether a digital offering has the same spiritual weight as a physical coin. What do you think, Maya? Would you feel the same if you just tapped your phone to pray?
難しい質問だね。確かにお賽銭箱にチャリンって小銭を投げるあの音を聞くと身が引き締まる感じはするかな。でも大切なのは金額や形じゃなくて気持ちだって言うし、便利になることでより多くの人がお参りしやすくなるなら、それも一つの形なのかなって思うよ。
That's a very balanced view.Personally, I'm quite used to digital payments in London, but there's something special about the physical tradition. Either way, it's amazing to see how 2026 is starting with such a mix of the old and the new.
本当にそうだね。伝統を守りつつ新しい技術も取り入れていく。今年の年末年始はいつもとはちょっと違う発見がありそうで楽しみになってきたよ。
Well, before we wrap up today's episode and get back to our cleaning, let's quickly review the expressions we covered today.
はい、今日も役立つ表現がたくさんあったね。ゆっくり復習しましょう。
First, we had star-studded lineup. This refers to a group or list that is full of very famous and successful people, like the performers at Kohaku.
スタースタッデッドラインアップ。スターが勢ぞろいした豪華な顔ぶれのことだね。
Second was generate buzz. This means to create a lot of excitement or interest among the public, especially on social media.
ジェネレートバズ。話題を呼ぶ、注目を集めるっていう意味だね。
Third was cultural staple. This is something that is a basic, essential part of a particular culture.
カルチュラルステープル。文化的になくてはならないものとか定番ってことだね。
Fourth, we discussed long-standing tradition. This describes a custom or practice that has existed and been followed for a very long time.
ロングスタンディングトラディション。古くから続いてきた伝道っていう意味だね。
Fifth was cashless society. This refers to a society or system where physical money like coins and notes are replaced by digital transactions.
キャッシュレスソサエティ。現金を使わない仕組みのことだね。
And finally, user-friendly. This means something is easy for people to use, understand, or operate, even if they're not experts.
ユーザーフレンドリー、使いやすい、操作が簡単なってことだね。
Great job. Try using one of these when you're talking about your New Year plans with friends.
ぜひ使ってみてね。さて、オリバー、私たちは大掃除の続きを頑張らなきゃね。
You're right. No more excuses. Thank you for listening to the Daily Blend. We hope you have a productive day of preparations.
皆さん、良い一日を。また次回お会いしましょう。
See you next time.